exuberance.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. So we're going to talk about our second, guys, James. We're going to talk about our second type of word problems for the year, which are called consecutive integer word problems. It really helps to know our definitions, right? What is an integer? I did a whole lecture on this at like the second or third day of class this year. Jaden, what is that? What a fraction equaling a fraction? What is that called?
A proportion.
A proportion. Okay, so Rosemary.
An integer is negative numbers, 0, and positive numbers.
Okay, so exactly. Good job. Very nice. You just look. See, she had her in her notes, Mushi.
I
Isn't
have
that
it in
amazing?
my notes.
Okay. Very good. Okay. But integers will be basically whole numbers, right? They're whole numbers. They include 0. They include positive whole numbers and negative whole numbers, right? They can be written as fractions by putting a 1 underneath it. 2 over 1 is a fraction, right? So, but it is going to be a whole number. That's helpful for me to know. There's somebody hitting something. I don't know what it is, but okay. All right. So, okay. Stop. So, thank you. And so I forgot where I was. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So if it says the sum of 3 consecutive integers, now at least I know if I get a fraction, I did it wrong. Does that make sense? Right? If I get 1/2 and I hand it in and I get a 0 on the test, I'll realize why. Because I didn't even look to see, oh wait, this has to be a whole number. It can be positive and it can be negative. It can include 0, right? It could be any of those numbers, right? So that's helpful. Does anybody have an idea of how you could solve this? No. Rosemary.
Go slowly, find out what numbers add up to 96. That would probably
Okay. What is, first of all, before I even ask that, let me ask, what does consecutive mean? Yeah.
Consecutive numbers are numbers that are next to each other.
All right, so give me an example of 3 consecutive integers.
8, 9, and 10.
8, 9, and 10. Another example. Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Another example.
8, 9, 10.
8, 9, 10.
Exactly what I just said.
wait, I have another.
Basic.
Why was 6 scared of 7? Because 9, 8, 10. It was because of 7, 8, 9.
7, 8, 9, not 9, 8, 10.
I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So going back to my question. Guys, basic. So guys, let's focus. So back to my question. So Rosemary's idea was we could just sort of try. You know what I mean? I call that the guess and check method, right? You could do, let's see, well, 1 plus 2 plus 3, does that equal 96? No. Well, then I could start with 2. 2 plus 3 plus 4, does that equal 96? No. Well, this is getting a little, it's going to take a long time to get there. So does anybody else have an idea? Yes?
I don't know, but maybe you could divide 96 and then you would get the 1 plus 2.
Divide 96 by 3? So what would be 96 divided by 3?
32.
Divided by 3 is 32, right?
Yeah.
So then what would it be though? Well, if
Would it be 31, 32, and 33?
31, 32, and 33.
Yeah.
Yes. So
What
that
you
is
can just do is
that
do
is
the-
one way. That is one way to do it. Okay? Great job. Great job. Awesome. Totally one way to solve it. Basically, we know by dividing in 3, we know that they can't be all 32, right? 30 because they have to be consecutive integers. So since we know one of them is 32, well, probably the other one's 31 and probably the other one's 33. But before you hand in your quiz, you would check, right? So what would you do? You add them all together and see. Well, let's see. 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. That works, okay? 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. Right? 96. That works. But
What if it's not
So-
divisible by 10?
Oh, well.
Then you're screwed. What if it's 11?
yeah, that's a good question. But
What is 11
what I'm going to teach you though, guys, So what I'm going to teach you is a different approach, okay? The approach that I'm going to teach you is an algebraic approach. So basically, I'm talking, right? I'm teaching, right? I'm going to teach you an algebraic approach that I want you to use. I don't want you to use the method we just did. I want you to practice this new method. And the reason why is because you will be using this method on and off for the next 4 years of your life, right? Or maybe 6 years of your life in math. So understanding this method will be really, really helpful. All right, how many unknowns are there?
3.
3. Now I'm not going to use the method from the number word problem where I have 3. I'm not going to have the same. I'm not going to use that method where we have 3 unknowns. So I go x, y, and z. I'm not going to do that. We're going to use only one variable, right? So there's 3 unknowns, but we have one. We're going to use. Let's say we're going to use x. All right. So I know my first number. My first number is x. Do you agree with me?
Yeah.
All right. What's my next number?
-1. X minus
Y and Z.
X plus minus 1.
What?
Okay.
X plus X
All right. So why? Let's just stick with the plus for now. So why would you say x plus 1, Rosemary?
Because then you'd have a consecutive one going up, and then you could also.
So consecutive means right next to, which is one away, right?
Yeah.
So let's just try that. So she's saying that the second number could be x plus 1. Let's just see. If the first number was 27,
Yeah.
is the next number going to be 27 plus 1, 28? That works!
Oh my.
Let's try another one. Let's say negative 10. Negative 10 plus 1 is
-9.
9. It works!
Oh my.
That's amazing. Oh shoot, but doggone, there's 3 numbers.
-1?
What's our third number?
Or plus 2.
Or plus 2.
-1 or plus 2?
Plus 2.
X plus 2. Because notice, we're basing it all based on this, right? Right? This is the original number. The first number is that. The second number is 1 away. The third number is 2 away, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
You guys get it?
Yeah.
So,
Well, kind of. I don't.
so let's just try.
I just don't see why you couldn't just divide 96 by 3, because that's the way that kind of makes sense in my head.
I agree. And that's why I covered it first, right? That's why I was hoping one of you guys would see that. And it is definitely a way to solve it. I'm actually teaching a process that is important in other kinds of things, right? You will need to know this in order to do higher level algebra, guaranteed. So that's why I'm starting it now, getting you into this technique, right? And it's actually a really cool technique. It's really fun. Whenever it says consecutive integers, if it says 3 consecutive integers, that's what you're going to write right away. X plus 1 and x plus 2. Let's say I said 5 consecutive integers. So x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, x plus 4. Now, a lot of times I find kids will do this. They'll make the first number x plus 1.
No.
Not a good idea. Because then when you solve for x, you didn't solve for any of the numbers. You solve for one less than the first number. You know what I'm saying? And so then you have to, it's better. Always make your first number x. And then keep adding to it like that. Okay. So it's pretty straightforward, pretty easy. So it says the sum of 3 consecutive integers is 96. So I could do this. I could go the sum of them x plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals 96. You agree with me?
Yeah.
So look, you see what I did there? Everybody understand that equation?
Yeah.
For sure?
Yes.
Just to 5, I just want to be sure people are with me. Right? All right. So that's one way you could write it. I'm going to just show you a quicker, easier way to do this. All right?
What are you doing?
Basil, no.
All right.
You don't hold it upside down.
All right. So basically, just so you know, this is my class, this is my video, so just quietly do it, okay? Quietly clean up. All right, so I'm going to show you a different way to write it. Since I think adding vertically Luke, guys, everybody over there, stop looking at basic, okay? Look up here so I can see. Instead of adding horizontally, look at this. If you wrote it with the x's directly underneath each other, then you can add them like this. What is x plus x plus x?
3x.
3x. 3x plus 1 plus 2 is 3. And that's the sum of those three consecutive numbers, right? Right? And that's the sum is 96. Wow, look at that.
Oh, and then you just do.
See how quickly that is?
And then you just.
That's easier, in my opinion. And then you subtract 3, and you have 3x is equal to 93. Divide by 3, x is equal to 31. So 31 is our first number. I come back here. See how I wrote these out? X plus 1, x plus 2. Well, my first number is x, which is 31. My second number is x plus 1, which is 31 plus 1, which is 32. And x plus 2, 31 plus 2 is 33.
And then you have your numbers.
Yeah, and I'm okay. Normally with word problems, I expect you to write down, the answers are, right, in sentence form. With these, I'm okay with just this, where you just, next to the x, you put a 31. Next to the x plus 1, you put a 32. Next to x plus 2, you put 33. Put it in a box so I can see the answer. Does that make sense? Okay, Mushi. Yes, I thought that was going to be a really profound comment, but whatever. Yes. Yes. Lovely, profound comments. Okay, let's do one more.
You're welcome.
Let's do one more. Let's see. Let's do the sum. This is number 2. The sum of 6 consecutive integers is, let's see here. Where's my plus sign? Oh.
Wait, are you using calculator?
This is called a calculator. You guys haven't seen it.
Gary.
Calculators are TV.
All right. The sum of 6 consecutive integers is 75.
Oh.
Find the integers. All right. So if I didn't use the camera, I'd have somebody come up and do it, but I can't. So I'm going to call on people.
Oh, me.
I'm going to call on people even if their hands are not raised.
Okay.
Oh, okay, my
All right,
hand isn't raised.
Rico.
You should call on me.
Wait, what? Say it
Too late. You raise your hand too late. But
again. Say it again.
what's the first number?
6. 75.
Well, but how many unknowns are there? How many unknowns are there? The sum of 6 consecutive integers. There's 6 unknowns. What's my first number going to be here? X. Exactly. All right, Jaden, what's my second number going to be?
X plus 1.
Oh my gosh, you guys are starting to get this. Okay. What's your name again? Zoe? Yeah, Zoe. What's the next one? X plus 2. My gosh, that's awesome. Okay, somebody else. How about Brisa? X plus 3.
Wow.
Okay, and then the next one.
Hazel.
What is it? Oh yeah, Hazel. What's it?
X plus 4.
X plus 4. All right. And then the next one. Logan. Next one. X plus 5. Okay. Okay, and then the next one.
There is no next one.
Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoot, I was having so much fun. I could have done that all day. Right? So now it says the sum of 6 consecutive integers is 75. Do you see how this is going to be easier to add vertically than if I wrote it out and it was 2 miles long this way? Right? It's going to be so much easier. I've got all the x's right next to each other, right underneath each other. So what do I have? Zoe?
Can I make a guess as to what the final
Okay, guess. Yes, what's your guess? Say it again, what? Oh, this, right, okay, so let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 x's, plus 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 plus 2 is 14, 14 plus 1 is 15. You're right, my dear, good job. And then what do I do with that?
Oh.
Yes.
So that equals 75.
That equals 75. All right, so now I'm going to just subtract 15 from both sides, right?
X equals 10, good.
So 6x is equal to 60. Divide by 6, divide by 6. X is equal to 10. So now am I done?
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
No. I come over here,
You put
and
10, 11,
this is 10. This is 11. This is 12.
13.
This is 13. This is 14.
Box.
And that's 15. Put it in a box, and I am done.
And then
What if we
half.
add those up, Gary? Let's just add them up, right? Is what we do.
Oh, yeah.
Just to double check.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, do it.
10 plus 11 is 21.
21.
21 plus 12 is
33.
33. 33 plus 14 is
13.
13 is like 30, 47,
46.
46, and
50, 60, 75.
yeah, 75. That's what I
There we go.
said.
We did it. Awesome. Okay, good. So, questions. Everybody understand? A fist of 5. I just want to know where you're at. Fist of
I'm
5.
like a 3.5 right here. Gary, we got some righties.
Awesome.
3.5.
Okay.
I feel like that.